Alright, let's check out what's going on with Gala Games. So we made a video, probably like a week or so ago. I think we made a video like a couple of days ago, somewhere around about this region. So I'll just run through everything I see. So, about a week ago or so, we outlined that we do have this massive M pattern with a price target all the way down here. So we warned you about this once we broke through this red box here. We broke down, we came, well, this was a 43% drop that we were predicting. So pretty big drop. We've come down about 30% so far. Since then, what we've done, I can see that we've got a inverse head and shoulders with a breakout level of basically this 27 level. Now, unfortunately, we did not break out of this. It was a failed breakout, or it was a failed inverse head and shoulders nonetheless. So this would have been really nice to break out. Unfortunately it didn't. It literally just back tested the neckline of this M breakdown, and now it looks like we're heading down. So I think since I made my last video on this, we've now got a 200-day moving average. So whether that will be useful or not on Gala is yet to be seen. This has only been around for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. So it might have been a week, to be fair, since I made an update on this. But yeah, I mean, it does look like we're coming down now. In my opinion, I think we're going to be coming down to at least the price target that I outlined down here at 15. Now, if we come over to Bitcoin, if we come over to the 4-hourly or the daily for Bitcoin, Bitcoin is still in this inverse head and shoulders. So your last hope for Gala is really that Bitcoin has decided that this is the bottom, and we're gonna, start breaking out at least to this neckline in the short term. If that doesn't happen and Bitcoin just breaks through this floor in the next day or so, then in my opinion, Gala is going to be dropping very quickly to our price target. All the way down here. Like we said, when we estimated it, it was a 43% drop or something like that. Pardon me. And now it's only like a 30% drop. So the RSI is very weak right now. So is the money flow indicator. If we come over to the daily, nothing really looks too good here. It looks like we've lost all momentum. There's no buying volume. The only volume that we've got right now is pretty much selling volume. I mean, since apart from this big pump, if we exclude that, in the past 2 weeks or so, all of the volume pretty much, apart from a couple candles here and there, has all been selling volume. So if we come over to the 4-hour, really I think this is your last line in the sand. Once we break below this, and I do think it's probably quite likely that we will be breaking through this, we will be coming all the way down here to fulfill that 30% drop. So really, I mean, this is in the very micro term, but if we do have a 3% drop and a strong bounce, we do have a very small potential of doing a double bottom here. I am pretty much going to exclude that. I wouldn't take that to the bank at all because, in my opinion, this big M pattern is, the #1 thing to focus on. We kind of bashed our head against this descending resistance that has been in play since the all-time high. We've now broken below the 786. So I don't know if we were below the 786 the last video we made, but you can see this macro fib from the low to the high. We have now broken below it. No matter which way I draw it, obviously this is the, which way is the least bearish? So I mean, even if I draw it from here to kind of give it the benefit of the doubt, we are now below the 786. So or if I move this over, we're literally like on the 786 now from the candle close instead of the wick. So kind of lining up with like what I said with this wick down here. If we do lose this 2129 region on the micro time frame, then in my opinion we'll be having a 30% drop to all the way down here. So personally, I prefer to use this fib from the wick, but like I said, keep an eye on this region over here. Specifically, if we zoom in, if we do hold this this region here, then at least in the short term we might see a micro bounce, but like I said, in my opinion we are going to be coming down. So what gets scary after that is if we don't manage to hold this region. So I've got this big green box down here as really your last line in the sand. So top of the green box lines up with the 1.618 or no, sorry, it lines up with the fib from the low of this micro uptrend to the high. I thought this was a 1.618, but yeah, I mean there's there's not really much point in drawing it. So I mean, we do have some confluence coming around here in this green box. Like I said, we've got our 786 here, we've got another 786 here, and you know, once we do lose this, we'll be coming down to this green box. This green box is basically all these touch points down here, and you know, where I've basically got the start of this this uptrend on these wicks. So I do think we're going to be coming down to 15.5. If we don't hold 15.5, it is going to get very scary. I think we're going to be coming all the way down to roughly about 7 cents. There's nowhere that we can really bounce, in my opinion. Another 53% drop to the bottom of this uptrend. Sure, we could potentially see a dump from 15 to 11, and then that could potentially be the bottom. But the number one thing I want you to take away is that, you know, we are in a massive downtrend, and you know, it doesn't necessarily seem too bullish in the short term. We've got this big M pattern, we've broken down, we had a failed inverse head and shoulders, which is really what we needed to see break out. You know, this could be potentially foreshadowing that Bitcoin is going to break down. I wouldn't pay too much attention to it, but you know, all of the altcoins right now kind of heading down. I think the total crypto market cap got rejected from the 0.618, and you know, we've got head and shoulders here. So everything, in my opinion, does look pretty bearish right now. The dollar's going up, so in my opinion, you know, risky assets, especially, you know, things like Gala Games, all of these altcoins, really, I don't necessarily think that, you know, they're going to be holding up too well in the next couple of days if Bitcoin breaks down. So keep an eye on that level. I said, you know, 21.8. If we do drop below there, then we do have a massive gap in data. There is literally nowhere else for us to bounce apart from, you know, all of these big 30% drops. And then, like I said, if we can't bounce from there, then we do have a very steep drop all the way down here. So that's pretty much all I see. If I was to change my tone on this, we would need to do something like this. We'd need to break above the 786, break back above this trend line here, this big descending trend line, and then have a push up. Until we do something like that, I am still bearish. We could even have a pump up to somewhere like here, 25, and you know, in my opinion, until we break solidly above the red trend line, nothing's changed. So that's all I see for Gala Games. Once again, none of this is financial advice. This is just my opinion on the market, and you've always got to do what's best for you. Peace.